Seems like every time you turn around, there's another Criterion sale. So I figured I might spotlight a few of my personal favorites. We're going to assume you already own The Seven Samurai, Citizen Kane, and the Godzilla box set. So here's 10 films you should check out. They may not all be sci-fi, but sci-fi is just a setting. Good storytelling can be found anywhere. This William Friedkin masterpiece got absolutely steamrolled by Star Wars when it was released, but thankfully it's been rediscovered and given its due. It's a remake of a French film from 1953 called The Wages of Fear. The always reliable Roy Scheider leads a cast of down-on-their-luck guys tasked with driving a couple of trucks full of volatile nitroglycerin through the treacherous roads of the South American jungle. Scored by Tangerine Dream. The movie has one of my all-time favorite shots near the end. It's absolutely gorgeous. You'll know it when you see it. Peter Riegert works for an oil company that wants to buy a town in Scotland, but he falls in love with the place instead. The phrase terminal whimsy applies here, but if that's not your jam, this movie may not be for you, but it was right up my alley. Burt Lancaster is completely unhinged here, and Peter Capaldi is just a wee pup. Probably the biggest role I've seen for Dennis Wedge Antilles Lawson. He's great here since he actually has something to do. Beautiful score by Mark Knopfler. I absolutely adore this movie. My wife hates this movie. She found it completely boring and an absolute slog to get through, so fair warning. I prefer to think of it as a slow burn. Based on the book Roadside Picnic by Arkady and Boris Strugatsky, Andrei Tarkovsky's 1979 film follows an illegal expedition into an area called The Zone. Their goal, if they can survive the trip, is The Room.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Not that The Room, where desires can become reality. The last scene of the film is another one of my favorites. Everyone who says Star Wars is a remake of The Hidden Fortress has never seen The Hidden Fortress. Yes, there's a pair of bumbling peasants who are basically R2-D2 and C-3PO, and yes, there's a general protecting a princess, and that's about it. As much as Star Wars has an iconic opening scene, the first scene of The Hidden Fortress is one of my all-time favorites. I really wish I could talk about this film without talking about Star Wars. It really stands on its own. It's not even Kurosawa's best, but it's definitely up there and worth checking out. If you liked Andor Season 2, and we all liked Andor Season 2, why not try this matter-of-fact look at the French resistance during World War II? Andor really didn't have the time to get too into the weeds about the day-to-day decisions of operating a resistance cell, though they did manage to get the basics across. But here, everything is laid out in stark detail. An excellent film, though not exactly the feel-good movie of the year. If you've never seen a film by Jean-Pierre Melville, this is a great place to start. Your next Melville should be Les Samurai, the story of a hitman who lives by the Bushido Code. He's got to stay one step ahead of the cops and his employer, all while making sure his pet bird is okay. The film stars Alain Delon, a man so handsome he literally made women forget Mick Jagger was in the room. You will have the urge to purchase a trench coat and a fedora while watching this. Stop. Leave the items in your cart. Come back to them in a week. If you still think you can be as cool as Alain Delon, vaya con Dios, buddy. Did I come to Terry Gilliam through Monty Python, or vice versa? It's all very muddled as to which came first in my young life. But I was exposed to Time Bandits at a very young age, and it stayed with me ever since. The 80s were full of dark kids movies, or movies starring kids that were marketed to kids that maybe weren't so much for kids. But an imaginative kid caught up in a time travel adventure with a bunch of thieving little people was absolutely my jam as a young person, and continues to be so to this day. David Warner as the personification of evil, obsessed with technology, is just icing on the cake. Before Werner Herzog became a living meme, and let's not forget he's a meme for a reason, the man is the real deal. He was mainly known by a small group of cinephiles for being that crazy guy who keeps casting Klaus Kinski for some reason. One of the films he made with Kinski was Fitzcarraldo, a movie about a guy who wants to build an opera house in the Amazon, and before you know it, he's got a team of people pulling a boat over a mountain. Burden of Dreams follows the making of Fitzcarraldo, where Werner Herzog gets a team of people to pull a boat over a mountain. It's full of Herzog monologues and Kinski outbursts and Mick Jagger for some reason. It's a great double feature with Fitzcarraldo if you can manage it, though I'm not sure which film to watch first. Back in the 60s, before 2001, science fiction film was in a very different place. It's hard to understand now after Kubrick set the visual template and Lucas and Industrial Light and Magic perfected it, that things could have gone a different way. It could have gone the way of Jean-Luc Godard's Alphaville, a strange adventure of Lemmy Caution. Eddie Constantine, right up there with Robert Mitchum in the hard-boiled noir hero department, plays government agent Lemmy Caution, sent to a place called Alphaville in a distant part of the galaxy. In his car. You just have to go with it. Once you get past the fact that they're not even going to try to use any overtly sci-fi visuals, the story takes over. Alphaville is ruled by Alpha 60, a computer that holds the population in thrall, but the computer creator's daughter, played by Anna Karina, Hello? Hey, you didn't shoot that Criterion video yet, did you? No, not yet. Why? Well, I just talked to Mitch and Murray downtown. They said that Criterion edition of Alphaville is out of print. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I'm in the basement looking for it right now. I'm going to put it on eBay and make a fortune. I got my eye on a game-used Ron Francis 86 Whalers jersey. Signed. I'll be right back.
That is smart.
So, the Criterion edition is out of print, but it is readily available in other releases. I'm not selling mine. I don't care how many Ron Francis jerseys it buy. He already has a Kevin Dineen jersey. Anyway, not unlike 1984, Brazil wasn't supposed to be a prediction of the future, just another cautionary tale.
That is your receipt for your husband. Thank you. And this is my receipt for your receipt.
But here we are. Another classic by Terry Gilliam. Brazil follows Sam Lowry, a dreamer played by the great Jonathan Pryce, navigating a labyrinthine government bureaucracy in the face of...
Don't fight it, son. Confess quickly. If you hold out too long, you could jeopardize your credit rating.
everything. But beyond the film's prescience, it's Gilliam's attention to detail and perverse sense of humor that makes the film as memorable as it is. So these are 10 of my Criterion picks. If you like this video, I have plenty of more films in the Criterion Collection that I can talk about ahead of the next sale. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these, or if you'd like to see less of them. But that's all for now. Bye.